since Mr. Morton and Tom Tom arrived, life on our island has gotten more complicated.
Jack, please take these over to your mother.
There's enough wood here to keep the fire going all day. Look.
Why, thank you. I'll add more so breakfast is nice and hot.
Oh, good morning, Tom Tom.
Good morning.
Oh, my, that was fast, Tom Tom. Thank you. Great. He certainly works hard, doesn't he, dear?
You're right. Tom Tom's quite impressive.
Yes, I'm very glad he's here. I wish I could say the same thing about Mr. Morton.
Mr. Morton? It's time to sit up and eat your breakfast. This porridge should be especially good because I helped my mom make it. Oh! How do you know if you won't like it if you won't even try it? Would you eat it if Tom Tom brought it?
I wouldn't eat it no matter who brought it. Swiss food is something I don't like. Huh? What's funny?
This porridge can hardly be considered a Swiss dish. That doesn't mean that my mom's not a good Swiss cook, though. It's just that it's impossible to find the ingredients she needs on a tropical island. Well, let me know if you change your mind. I think you'll find that porridge tastes good when you're hungry.
Hey!
Mr. Morton won't even taste it.
Oh, not again.
Tommy, get me something for breakfast.
My word. That man is just unreasonable.
Mr. Morton is the grumpiest man I've ever met. Maybe he's just bored because he has to stay in bed until he gets better. Are you making a toy, Tom Tom?
You'll have to wait and see.
It looks like a banana.
No, it bends too much in the middle. Maybe it's part of a dollhouse.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Morton, I don't think you should be walking yet.
I know it. If I stay in that cave any longer, I'll become mildewed. It's like a dungeon in there. At least the sun is shining today.
It is nice. Now just be careful that you don't overdo it.
I know it.
We're going to the treehouse for a while to clean things up. We'll be back by lunchtime.
Don't rush back here because of me. I'm capable of getting my own food. Tommy! Tommy!
Can I see it for a minute, Tom Tom?
What's that, Pee-wee?
Something Tom Tom made. Show him how it can fly.
Sure.
That's amazing.
Haven't you pipsqueaks ever seen a boomerang before?
That thing's called a boomerang?
That's right. In the old days, that was the only weapon they had in Australia. Boomerangs can be very deadly if you know how to throw them, but they're no match for a rifle. Say, Tommy, show us what you can do.
Good.
I think that's mean. Poor thing.
That's our lunch.
No, I wouldn't eat that bird for anything.
Here it is.
Get us some more meat now, eh, Tommy?
May I please try the boomerang?
All right.
Let me try it.
Wait your turn, Jack. Ugh! Fiddlesticks.
It's my turn.
I guess you don't have to worry about hitting any birds.
While Jack and I were having fun, the rest of the family was working hard at the treehouse, trying to repair some of the damage from the storms.
Anna, we're ready for more leaves.
Right away. Do you think Becca and Jack are all right?
I don't know, but I wouldn't have left them with Mr. Morton.
To be honest, I wish we hadn't.
Don't worry. I really don't think Morton's a bad fellow.
I don't know that we can trust him, though.
Maybe I could get a coconut to fall. This is going to be tricky, though. That tree is pretty high up.
I bet you could do it. Yay! I bet you're not going down. Uh-oh.
It's definitely stuck.
What should we do?
Don't worry. I'll just climb up the tree and get it back.
Careful.
Oh! Ouch, that hurts!
You better stop before you break something.
Tom can do it. So I'm sure that I can climb the tree too. This is fun.
I just hope you know what you're doing, Becca. It's a long way down, so be careful.
This is hard. And I'm just halfway. I hope I can make it. My arms are starting to give out. Oh, well, I'll have to come down. You look so far away, Jack. I'm higher than I thought. I don't think I know how to get down.
You gotta hang on!
Help me, Jack. I don't know how to get down.
What should I do?
Help me.
Mr. Morton, come over here quick!
Huh?
You have to do something, Mr. Morton, or I'll fall down. Please hurry. I'm losing my hold.
Pee-wee, you go and get a rope. Find a long one. Be quick about it.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to stay still, monkey.
Do you think you'll be able to rescue Becca?
Sure I can.
Hang on, Becca!
Ah! That'll do it.
Now I see what you're trying to do. Won't that hurt your leg?
Nah. 2 arms and a leg are all I need for this job. Any good sailor can climb a rope like this, 'cause that's how we used to get up the mast.
If I fall, I'll be squished like a pancake.
Calm down! Mr. Morton's going to save you!
Please, hurry, Mr. Morton. I can't last much longer.
You'll be all right. Climb on my back and hold as tight as you can.
Ah! Ah!
Now don't let go.
I'm glad you're coming down, Becca. I didn't like seeing you all the way up there.
Me either. That was scary.
Yay!
Ow, that hurts.
Did that make your leg get worse?
My leg's all right.
Mr. Morton, thank you.
Oh, that's all right, Pee-wee.
You saved my life.
Just forget it now. I don't want anybody else to hear a word about this.
Why not?
That's all there is to it.
But why shouldn't we tell? You didn't do anything wrong you should be ashamed of. You should feel proud.
That's it. My mother always told me if you do a good deed, you should never have to brag about it at all.
So? I don't understand why you can't mention it.
Well, just think about it. It's the first good deed I've ever done, so I've got to be careful. I've got to be careful that I don't brag about it, so you make sure you don't mention it to anyone. You two should just forget all about it now. Do you understand me?
I think so.
Good.
This isn't your first good deed. You helped out Tom Tom, didn't you?
No, I really didn't do much for him.
But Tom Tom said that you helped him.
All right, just be sure you don't tell anybody else what happened. Let's go.
Mr. Morton certainly is a strange man, but I'm glad he isn't going to tell my parents about my narrow escape. They would have been angry if they knew I climbed up a tall tree.
My throat's just parched.
I'd be glad to run and get you some cold water if you want me to.
Well, get going then.
I'll be right back.
Now you can do a job for me too, Jack.
What's that?
I want you to go and get the medicine kit for me.
I can't. My dad says I'm not even allowed to touch it.
Well, your dad told me this morning. I needed to put some disinfectant on my leg.
Oh, I'll get it.
And make sure to bring a cup with you.
All right.
I was glad to do something for Mr. Morton. I owed him a big favor for rescuing me.
This is it. Give me that cup.
I've got the water. What's that?
Oh, that's the best kind of medicine for me, Pee-wee. Pour some water right in there.
All right.
Fill it all the way up. That's it, thank you.
Dad rubbed it on your leg before.
Sometimes it's better to drink it.
I think it's time to take a break.
Good idea.
Dad!
Huh?
Something awful happened to Mr. Morton.
What's wrong?
Did he hurt his leg again?
I'm not sure what it is, but he's acting very strange.
Let's go. Ernest, he may need us.
Right.
Oh, my goodness, for a minute there, I thought that whale was going to swallow me right up, ship and all. Whoa!
Mr. Morton!
You must have fallen in asleep.
Go away, I'm just trying to sleep. Can't a man get a little shut-eye around here without being bothered?
He's fast asleep.
Huh? Morton, wake up. What smells? I thought that might be the culprit. Now this makes sense.
What happened to him, Ernest?
Mr. Morton had too much to drink.
That's impossible. I'm certain there isn't any alcohol on the island.
Look, of course there is.
Oh, that's medicinal alcohol.
He asked Jack if he would get it for him so he could disinfect his leg.
Mr. Morton said it worked better if he drank it.
What's all the racket?
Huh? Wake up, Morton. That was a really irresponsible thing to do, Morton. If this had happened to be methyl alcohol, you know you wouldn't be alive right now.
Oh, quit your jabbering. I'm trying to get some sleep.
Mom, Dad, and Fritz were on their way to the treehouse to make sure that everything was ready for us to move back in.
Now that we're ready to move back to the treehouse, we have to decide on the best place to put our guests. What do you think, Fritz?
Well, I think it would be fun if Tom Tom lived with us. But I'm not sure I'd want to live with Mr. Morton.
I know what you mean, Fritz. He's not an easy man to get along with.
Well, Morton is eccentric, but I'm sure that once we get to know him better, we'll discover he has a lot to offer.
Yes, you're probably right, Dad, but I'm still not sure that he's someone I'd want to live with.
Well, son, Morton is certainly unlike any man that you've ever known. But look at it this way. He can't be all bad or Tom Tom wouldn't be so attached to him.
You might have a point there. And since we're all stuck together for a while, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't give Mr. Morton a second chance.
I'm glad to hear that.
Tom Tom, let's see how high you can make the boomerang fly. Let me do it next.
I want to go now.
No, the oldest goes first.
That's not fair.
I know.
Hey, Pee-wees.
Did you call us Pee-wees, Mr. Morton?
Yeah, come here.
What do you want?
I want you to pick some leaves for me.
Can you eat them?
You'd better not. Now get to work, will you?
What are they all for?
You'll have to hold your horses for a minute. We have to dry them all out first.
I couldn't imagine what we were doing. Mr. Morton didn't seem like the type of person who'd collect leaves. What do we do now?
We'll take them in the cave. Just as soon as they've finished drying, you can see what we've been making. It's important to roll them up very tightly. Becca, is there any charcoal left in the hearth?
Yes, I think so.
Good, go out and get a piece.
All right. I was getting even more curious about what Mr. Morton was up to. In any case, it was nice to see him in a good mood for a change. Here. Now I understand. That's a cigar. Were those tobacco leaves we picked?
They're close enough to the real McCoy. Not bad for a deserted island. It's about time that I got myself a good smoke again. I sure have missed my old pipe. Hey there, you're a man, ain't you, Jack? Try a puff.
All right.
Here, now breathe in slowly.
Drop it, Jack.
Ah!
What's going on here, Mr. Morton? It's one thing for you to smoke since you're an adult, but how dare you entice my children to smoke? You should be ashamed of yourself. Just what kind of a person are you to think that young children should be allowed to smoke? If I ever catch them smoking again, you'll all be sorry. What do you have to say for yourself, Mr. Morton? Well,
Calm down. The Pee-wees haven't smoked.
that's just because I came when I did. I'm sure if I had arrived just a minute later, Mr. Morton, the whole lot of you would have been smoking.
When I was Jack's age, I had quite a taste for a good cigar or a pipe. There's nothing wrong with it.
Come along, Jack and Becca, we're going home. Come on, Becca. Mr. Morton has to be the most outrageous man I've ever met. I can't believe that he'd entice young children into smoking.
Mom, Mr. Morton was just trying to be nice, that's all.
I think he's nice also, Mom.
I'd like to know what you two have to say for yourselves. It looked to me like you were going along with Mr. Morton. You both know perfectly well that your father and I don't allow you to smoke.
I'm sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Let's go, Jack.
Ma.
Come
Where
on.
are you going?
I'm going to take the animals out for some exercise. Slow down, Eric. Wait for me. I know that Mr. Morton told me not to, but I wonder if I should tell Mom that he helped me. Do you think I should say anything about Mr. Morton, Jack?
How can you? You promised that you wouldn't.
I know, but I thought if Mom knew that Mr. Morton saved my life, she wouldn't be so angry at him.
Oh, I don't know.
There's Dad and Fritz is with him. Guess
Guess
what,
what,
Dad?
Dad?
What is it? Is everyone all right, Becca?
Yes, but Mom's really angry.
At us and Mr. Morton.
What? Huh, I wonder what that smell is. What's the matter, Anna?
Oh, Ernest,
What is it?
I can't stand it. I'm sorry, but I can't live with Mr. Morton any longer.
What did he do that made you so upset, Anna?
I just can't get over it. That horrible man tried to get Jack to smoke a cigar with him.
Cigars? I wondered what that smell could be. He's quite a troublemaker. First drinking, now smoking.
This is quite serious. He's just not a good influence on the children. I want to move back to the treehouse.
Calm down, Anna. Surely he's not that bad.
I will not calm down, Ernest. I'll never forgive myself if the children start drinking and smoking.
It made me feel awful to know that my mom was so sad.
Is Mom still upset? Well, Becca?
Oh, sorry, Fritz. I was sure that Mr. Morton hadn't wanted to make my mom unhappy. He had proven to me how kind he was when he got me down from that tree. I think the problem was that the two of them had such different ideas about how people should behave.
Anna, dear, do you remember when we were back in Switzerland? As I recall, it wasn't uncommon for people to smoke and drink there, but we felt certain that we could raise our children to behave properly. My dear, I don't think we should turn our backs on Mr. Morton. Our family's been alone so long, it seems we've forgotten what it's like to have neighbors.
You're probably right, but it just made me see red when I saw Jack with that cigar in his mouth, Ernest.
I'll make it clear to the children that under no circumstances will they be allowed to smoke. It'll be all right, Anna. In any case, I think it's time that we looked on the bright side, dear. Morton's a grown man who's been many different places. I'm sure there's a lot of interesting things he can teach us. I don't see any reason not to be friends.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Oh,
I promise I'll never smoke.
I promise I won't either.
it's all right then, as long as you both know what I expect.
Make sure you don't forget that.
I'm starting to get hungry, Mom.
Oh no, Mr. Morton upset me so I forgot about dinner.
Oh, I think that's funny, don't you?
I'm about as hungry as a horse.
Why don't you all help her?
All right.
I felt much better now that my mom was in a good mood again. I knew that she and Mr. Morton would always have their differences, but I hoped they'd learn to like each other more as time went on. Personally, I was glad that Mr. Morton and Tom Tom had washed ashore. It looked like we'd be having even more adventures on our own deserted island.